Hello and welcome to Grindslime TV with me, your host Aaron. And today we are talking about the international band Putrevore. Oh yes, look at that artwork. Look at him. Whoa, that's a toilet of kings, that is. He's not doom scrolling, he's just enjoying the moment. Absolutely glorious. Another reference there for you. You know what that one is? Now, this is brutal death metal, as I'm sure you can imagine, but again, this isn't a clone of anybody as such. It's lots of blasts, a lot of really low gutturals going on, nice fast guitar work, but there's also a lot of influence in here from bands like Morbid Angel, early Immolation, and maybe late Immolation as well. They're a pretty consistent band, so it's a lot of that sort of what the kids are calling epic death metal sort of going on, but there's not so much that it takes away from the brutality of this thing either. This is, no bones about it. This is 8 tracks of solid death metal. Now, the reason it's an international band is because they've got it's a 2-piece. They've got a session drummer on the album. I'm not sure where he's from. I didn't check. Probably should have done, but I didn't. But the main 2 guys that are in this is their second album. One's from Spain, Madrid, I think, and the other one is from Sweden. So they've got a nice sort of thing going on. I think they've had a couple of full lengths since this one. This is the only one I've heard, and it's the only one I have. But I'd be open to getting more of their stuff. It's really, really cool. I think it stands out. Each song has its own identity as well. I mean, they've got very cool stuff going on. There's some sort of a Lovecraftian thing going on. These kids I want to do. Like the tentacles through time, that sort of stuff. Universal Devourer and shit. And the tattooed skin map is a pretty cool one. That's the closer. Yes, it is. And I got this when it came out in 2012, I think it was. Yes, there it is. Yeah, for Extreme Music, a fantastic label who got me into brutal death metal because I remember in the early noughties I went to go see a band called Arcane Church, and I went to their this must have been 2003, 2004, and I went to the merch stand to buy their EP, and the dude behind the counter with his thick American accent was like, "Good choice, yeah, take this, bro." Handed me this compilation CD of Extreme Music compilation Volume 1, which is around here somewhere. I've got to try and find it. It's promos all over the place. And that had a lot of bands like Hour of Penance, Disgorge, and Mexican Disgorge. And looking back, it might have been Brian Baxter who handed it to me. Probably not. But, some American dude associated with them was like, "Oh, check this out." Gave it to me. I was like, cool. So, Extreme Music's been one of those pretty special labels for me. And you can't go wrong. And this, if you're into like your really sort of fast drumming, but it's not like throughout like constant blast beats or anything. This has its groove to it. But there's also like some black metal in there as well. Some like really cool bits that are really atmospheric, not synthy or anything like that if you're not into that sort of thing. But there is definitely some black metal stuff going on, but not to the point where I would identify these guys as a blackened death metal band, if that makes sense. Like Fetal Juice. They're a far cry from being blackened death metal, but there are definitely parts where it's like, yeah, that could sit nicely on a black metal record and just go unnoticed maybe. But on this record, Macabre Kingdom, 33 minutes of just solid death metal that's just unrelenting, all killer, no filler, and the production on it's perfect. And they also wanted to make the note inside the inlay as well that no fucking rotting vocal effects were used on this recording. So all gutturals and toilet bowls and whatnot are all organic, so to speak. which, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with pitch shifters. I love pitch shifters, you know, those pitch shifted toilet bowl vocals and shit, and those gutturals like that. Oh, mate, I'm all about that. But some people like to make it clear, you know, and there's like, I mean, I don't know if it mentions here about oh, yeah, it says, oh, okay, so they thank Brian, or Brynja Helgeton. I've really fucked that up, I'm guessing. But for his fantastic drumming on the album, but it doesn't mention anything about whether or not he used triggers, because a lot of bands do it, like Demonoid. Like in their booklet for Rise of the Apocalypse, they make quite clear that no triggers were used on the record. And this one, all right, brilliant. Standard black vinyl, which, as you know, I'm all about. Look at that. Oh, barely anything to be seen, but on this side, pow, yeah, all that going on. So, pretty standard release, but it's got many a spin in the 13 years that it's been sat on my shelf. I'll sort that out in a minute. But yeah, one last look at that artwork. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Like, this won't be for everyone. If you were just like blast till you die, Brother Quinn or nothing, then this may not be for you. But, you know, if you like I say, like bands like Immolation, like early Morbid Angel, and I'm trying to think of other sort of like, maybe like Putrevore, but not in a sludgy way, but just that sort of, like early incantation sort of thing, but not incantation worship at all. It's not another one of those, but like the low vocals, the relentless sort of just nastiness. I'm all about it. So Putrevore, Macabre Kingdom from Extreme Records, or Extreme Music. So, it's been a long day. Get on it. Absolute must. So, keep it extreme, keep it underground. Nearly fucked up my own sign off then. You can.